Naviru, you can start.
Devans are Samanams. It is really important to be mindful even at the hardest times, because then the hard time for you becomes a better moment. Today we are having another mindful session to be mindful even when it's difficult. We all welcome the most honorable, the most there for today's program. I welcome my friends too, and if there are any new friends, I gladly welcome them too. Before starting today's session, I would like to give a brief overview of last week's program. At the beginning of the session, Swaminathan talked about the meme "I had fun once and it was awful" and linked it to mindfulness. Then we did mindful walking and sitting for about 10 minutes, discussed our reports, and shared our homework with the group. Finally, we had some fun doing the mindful activity, casing the world, and concluded the program. Now I would respectfully invite Tammo Ashitero to start the program.
Okay, hello everyone. It's been a while since I joined you for this weekly mindful session. I want to see all of your faces if possible. Can you turn on the camera if you have one? Oh, there we go. All right, wonderful. Today it seems we have quite a large crowd, which is a good thing. The more, the merrier. The more we are, the better it is to do all of this in a group. All right. Oh, yeah, I see more people joining. Wonderful. Okay, everyone. So, what are we going to discuss today? Do we have someone that can pull up uh, an image of our topic for today? Okay. So can everyone see the screen? If you cannot see the image on the screen, please let us know. So what I see here is an image that says, "I don't think before I speak. I like being just as surprised as everyone else by what comes out my mouth. What comes out of my mouth." Yeah, now this is a small little meme, a joke that applies to anyone who can speak. Can all of you speak? Who cannot speak? Raise your Zoom hand. Ah, Tiana. Tiana. So, do you speak sign language? Do you have a voice? Good. So you can speak. Okay. Right. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about speaking and when it is good to speak. There are times when it is not the right time to speak. Do you agree? Yeah, just because we have the ability to speak or the opportunity to speak, it is not always good to speak at that moment or at that opportunity, right? So usually this is something my teacher taught me a long time ago, many years ago when I was younger. We have the word think. If you look up there, the first line, you will see the word think. You know where it says, I don't think. Yeah. So let's use that word. All those letters, all those individual letters, THINK, we will use that as an acronym to let us know what we need to speak, what is good for speaking. Okay? When I say an acronym, I mean that we will take each of those individual letters and then form a new word out of them. All right? So, for example, if we have the word think, right? If we have T, we take the letter T and we form a new word from that. And then we take the letter H, form a new word. And just like that with all the other letters. All right. And this is something that you can also take and use for whenever you need to speak. First, you have to take a moment and do the following. All right. So let's begin. Letter T. We are spelling out the word think. Letter T. The word for T is true. Before you speak, you have to think, is what I am about to say true? All right? Because if we don't say something that is true, what happens? What happens if for example, you lie, you say something that is not true? Anyone? Yes. Someone raised their hand. Are they able to? Yeah, I'll just, yeah, tell us.
Um, you'll go to hell?
Wow. Right. Yes. You can take that to mean there will be very bad consequences, right? Yeah. If you habitually speak something that is not true, there are very bad consequences to that. Not even just that, even if you say something small that is not true, you'll get in trouble with your teacher, with your parent, with your friends, because everyone likes to hear what is true and not what is false. So it is always good to speak what is true, and that way we will not feel bad about ourselves. We will always know that I spoke what is true, so I cannot get in trouble in any way. Yeah, and then let's move on to H. We are spelling think, remember? So T is for true, and you can write this down if you like, or you can just listen, no problem, either way. So for letter H, it's going to be the word helpful. Whatever we speak, we should always try to make it helpful. Sometimes there are things that we say that is not, these things are not really helpful to others. Now, for example, uh, today, while I was having my lunch, I ate something and something which gave me some allergic reaction. I ate something that I did not know I am allergic to, but I found out today. And because of that, sometimes when you eat something and you develop an allergic reaction, you get a little bit sick or it shows on your body reacts. And because of that, my lip, I don't know if you can see, But my upper lip, it was so swollen for almost a whole hour. It was like it was like that size. It was really big. And I looked really funny as though someone had punched me right in the mouth. So my lip was really swollen. So today I found out that I have an allergic reaction to a certain kind of food. Yeah, so a few people saw me. When you see someone's face and there's something unusual about it, like a swollen lip, or just something about their face. Is it always good to make a comment about that? Because you might say something that will hurt this person's feeling, right? And so, in the same way, a few people saw me and, I just understood, yes, they can see what is happening with my mouth, but they did not actually say something. Because if you want to say something, you must at least try to make it helpful to the other person. Now, luckily, this is not a serious thing. And after some time, the swelling came down. And yeah, I'm just going to let it all just, go away on its own. So if you see something somewhere with someone and you don't think that what you're going to say to them is going to be helpful, if you're not going to help them solve a kind of a problem or find a kind of an answer to some or find some kind of a solution to a problem that they have, it is not really necessary to speak. Okay? So whatever you speak, always try to make it helpful to the other person. So moving down the line, we are spelling think, T for true, H for helpful, and then I. I, the word from I is inspiring. Inspiring. Now, when we talk about inspiring, when we are speaking with someone, it asks, you should only speak if what you say to them will improve something. If you don't speak something that improves others, then that one we call it idle chatter. Something that does not have a lot of meaning, something does not have substance, right? So we must always try to make sure that whatever we speak is inspiring to others. It will help them to improve themselves, or it will help us improve ourselves, or it will help us both improve each other. See, now we have also a new word from there, inspiring or improving. Okay, moving down the line, we have T for true, H for helpful, I for inspiring, and then N. N is the word we get from N is necessary. Is it necessary? Let's take an example of my allergic reaction again. Again, like I said, today I ate something and I got an allergic reaction and my lip was so swollen. It looked like I had a giant, this little animal they call kudala. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it properly in Sinhala. Kudala, a leech. Have you ever been bitten by a leech? And it sucks a lot of blood from you and it becomes so fat and it's shiny and glossy. And yeah, so I looked like I had one giant leech right up here on my mouth. Oh, it was not the greatest sight to see. It was a real sore for the eye. So if something like this happens to you, or if you see someone who is going through something like this and looks like someone is raising their hand, do you have something to say? Tehasna? Tehasna. If you have something to say, you're welcome to make a comment. Anything. Okay, maybe not. Maybe that was just a mistake. All right, we'll move on. So, as I was saying, whenever we feel like we need to make a comment, always think, is it necessary? Because sometimes you might say something again that hurts someone else's feelings. So, it's not always good to speak just because you have an opportunity. Now, can you imagine if someone came along making fun of my lip? I was already feeling a bit uncomfortable. I was having some kind of short term disease, an allergic reaction. And then someone comes along making a sarcastic joke. Now, I can tell you, I can take a joke, it's no problem. But we don't know about everyone that, we just meet anywhere randomly. Some people cannot really be comfortable with being the subject of a joke, being the subject of your sarcasm. So it's very we say it's walking on thin ice when you want to make a joke about someone. First, you must be able to kind of read the situation and know whether this is really going to be helpful. And then you know whether what you want to say is necessary or not. Okay? Okay, moving down the line, we are spelling think. T is true. H is helpful. I is inspiring. N is necessary. And then K. K is for kind. Before we speak, we need to take a moment and think if what we are going to say is kind. Now, in today's world, there's a lot of unkindness, and especially on the internet. How many of you are 13 years or older? 13 years or older? Just raise your hand. Ah, good. So maybe some of you are allowed on the internet by your parents. And yeah, once you come of this age and you're allowed to go on the internet, you might see some things that are not very kind. So maybe it is just good to always remain below 13. I always try to live like that, by the way. Don't grow up, it's a trap. In my mind, I am still 12 years old. Always remain innocent. So, since there's a lot of unkindness out here, you kind of want to go against the grain. You want to go against the current. And if you do that, you will become a minority. What does a minority mean? When there's a large group of people and most people think the same thing, and there's one or two who do not think the same thing, these one or two people, they are considered as if they are separate from the group, right? So in this world, unfortunately, it's like that. Most people, when they are not mindful, their mind just goes towards unkindness. But when we practice mindfulness, we always pause for a moment and we all make sure that whatever we are saying is kind. This is what I mean when we say you have to go against the grain by being kind. Because most people, when they're unmindful, they don't think about what they speak. And so obviously they speak unwholesome words, ugly words, mean words, etc., etc. So those who speak kind words, they are always seen as if they are different or they're weird. But this is something that you must always endeavor to do, to speak what is kind, to help others, to avoid hurting the feelings of others if you must. Okay? So this is what we mean. T for true, H for helpful, I for inspiring, N for necessary, and K for kind. Before you speak, always try to make sure your speech is in line with those. And the more you do this, the more you don't even have to think about it. Everything you say, it will always be full of these good qualities. So this is what I had to share with all of you regarding speaking, thinking before you speak. So don't really follow the advice of that meme. We should always think before we speak. All right? Okay, so it looks like a good time to do what? To do walking meditation, walking mindfully. Oh, that was a funny word almost slipped out of my mouth. Meditation. We call it mindful walking. Always remember it as mindful walking. If there's anyone new here, remember what we do. If there's anyone new, what we do actually, for those who are already familiar with our program, you can just start right away. But if you're new, what we are going to do is to walk somewhere back and forth, an open space, an open path, and we should try to keep our attention on the soles of our feet. We are just doing this so that we can always remember to bring our mind to one point. And when we bring our mind to one point, then we know what is happening in the very present. We are always in the present. So we are trying to teach our mind to always remain in the present moment so that it can be free of any tension or worry or unhappiness in the present moment. So let's do mindful walking. And afterwards, we can write 3 or 4 sentences about our experience. Okay, let's begin. When the bell goes, we shall return to our seats. Let's go to our walking path. All right, everyone, let's return to our seats. And now we can move on to mindful sitting. Remember, this is the whole point. This is the purpose of why we are always meeting every day, so that we can continuously train our mind to become strong in mindfulness. That means to become strong in its ability to stay in the present moment all the time. And when we are mindful, we won't even have to think about whether what we speak is good or not, right? So let's continue practicing mindfulness. In mindful sitting, you want to sit somewhere comfortable with your back straight up, or you can use a chair if you like and lean against the chair. Remember, later on, we will write a short report to share our experience with mindful walking and mindful sitting. So please sit back wherever you are and gently close your eyes. Please gently close your eyes. And bring your attention to your breath. As you breathe in and as you breathe out, just keep your attention on the breathing in and the breathing out. If your mind starts to think about anything else and you notice that, bring it back to the breathing in and the breathing out. Because the breath is always happening right now. All the time, it's happening right now in the present moment. And this is where we want to be, in the present moment. So just keep repeating this, keeping your mind on your breath, breathing in and breathing out continuously. And when the bell goes, we will proceed. So let's do mindful sitting. All right, everyone. Wakey, wakey. Okay, now that we've done our mindful walking and mindful sitting, let us write our reports. Okay? Let's report on our experience of mindful walking and mindful sitting. Remember, you don't have to write something very special. We just want to know what you are experiencing while you are doing these two activities. All right? It doesn't have to be anything special. Just tell us what you experienced at that time you were doing mindful walking and mindful sitting. Were you feeling things with your body, your legs? Did you hear things? Did you know that you were hearing or smelling or tasting or seeing with your eyes? Remember, it's only mindful if it's happening in the present moment. So for mindful walking, write down 2 or 3 sentences. And for mindful sitting as well, write down 2 or 3 sentences about what you experienced. All right? All right. Once you finish, you may raise your hand, your Zoom hand, and we will share our reports together. If you finish, let's give other participants a chance to complete their report, and then we can share them with the group. Right. So remember, don't you don't have to crack your brain over anything. Nothing special. Just tell us exactly what you felt or what you experienced during your mindful walking and mindful sitting. Let's take a few minutes to write our reports. Okay, we can take about 5 more minutes to finish up. If you're already done, please raise your Zoom hand. Remember, you don't need to report anything that is necessarily so amazing. Just any simple thing that you experienced during your mindful walking and mindful sitting. Okay, 1 more minute. All right, let's see a show of those hands. Who's ready? Who wants to begin? Who wants to start? Okay, start with Senaya.
Mindful walking. When I was doing mindful walking, I took my right leg front, then my left leg front. I did all over again. I walked about 160 steps, and then I lost my count by bumping on a wall. Then I forgot to do my count, but still mindful. I went around and round. I walked rounds and rounds. Then I got a little bit sleepy. But I didn't sleep because I was very mindful. I accidentally stepped on an eraser. Then I picked it up and again did it. Then I got the worst thing ever, a thought. And then the thought began to be on my mind for some time, and then it went away because I practiced to be mindful. Mindful sitting. When I was doing mindful sitting, I inhaled and exhaled. I didn't count my breath, but it felt like more than 2 minutes. I heard the birds singing. It wasn't disturbing any long because I have practiced, so it was something normal. It was kind of relaxing. And then I heard the cars. I also tried listening to the cars, the direction they go. So it wasn't disturbing. So slowly I began to get a thought again. But then I remembered to be mindful. And then when the bell rang, I returned to my seat. Thank you.
All right, very good, Senaya. You mentioned something that is very important for us young people, being mindfulness of sleepiness. Sometimes we need to do something important. We need to pay attention. Like, for example, when we are in school, but then we become sleepy. If you remember to be mindful, even when you're sleepy, then that sleepiness does not become a problem for you, right? Just like you noted, you were mindful, you felt like you were sleepy, but then at that very moment, you knew that there is sleepiness. And so it was not a problem for you. And so just like that, it goes away. When you know it, it goes away. You know what mindfulness is like? It's like, say, at night when everyone is asleep and it's all so quiet and all so calm. And then a thief, a burglar comes to your house. And you know that they're comfortable to do anything they want in the darkness. But once you switch on the light and you discover them, what do? They run away. So mindfulness is like this. Whenever there's something heavy on your mind and you become mindful of it, it is like you're shining a light on it. And just like that burglar at night, once the light is on, they ran away. So it's good that your mindfulness of something so terrible like sleepiness, especially when you don't want it to be there. And then it also said you could hear birds, you could hear cars. See, now you're being mindful because if you know that you're hearing them at that very same moment when it is happening, then that is what we call mindfulness. So keep up with that. Every time something happens, just know that it's happening at that very moment and it will never become a disturbance to you. All right, great. Who would like to go next? Tiana, was your report ready?
Tiana again.
My mindful walking was relaxing. and disturbing. I felt my heel touching the floor first as I listened to my sister talking. I also heard the cars going in different directions. I was counting my steps and got over 150 steps. Mindful sitting. My mindful sitting was relaxing. Notification, and it was also very distracting. Notification kept coming up on the screen. When I finally opened my eyes, there was a whole lot of notifications. I felt as I felt my breath exhaling and inhaling, I listened to all the cars pass by.
Is that the end of the report? Okay. All right. Now that is some good practice of mindfulness as well. Whatever you hear, whatever you smell, but remember it has to be in that very moment, not something that you remember or something that you're planning in the future. It has to be in that very moment. In that way, you can be sure that you are in the present moment. And we always want to be in the present moment to protect our mind from unwholesome, unwholesome states of mind, right? Like anger and worry or fear, anxiety. All these things, once we are mindful, remember we are shining a light on them. Once you shine a light on them, they have to disappear. They have to run away. So this is the simple practice of mindfulness. You keep doing this every day, every time you have a moment, just be mindful of what you are experiencing. And like this, our mindfulness becomes stronger and stronger. So that was a good report as well. Keep it up. And who do we have next? Sejito.
Jide, you can mute.
See, I'm really coming good at pronouncing the names, right? Give me a medal. Sejito, you're welcome.
Mindful walking. I felt peaceful and I was calm. When I'm walking, my stress was low, and I heard some cars, they were slow, so it was not disturbing. Mindful sitting. I felt calm, relaxed, and peaceful. When I closed my eyes, my stress was gone, but I was sleepy.
All right, thank you very much, Sejita. All these things you noticed while you were doing walking and sitting, and you felt a lot of comfort, and nothing was disturbing, right? That's great. But you know what's even greater? When you feel that something is actually disturbing, and you know that this is how you're feeling, then you're still mindful, right? Not you will not always be comfortable, and you will not always having things not disturbing you. But when something becomes distracting, you feel like you cannot focus your mind or bring your mind to your object, your breathing, then it's also all right. So long as you know that this is what is happening, then you're still mindful. So never be afraid to be disturbed. Never be afraid to be uncomfortable, even when it is so relaxing. So long as you know that it is happening, you are in the present moment, and then nothing will be disturbing for you, even the disturbing and the distracting things. So keep it up. Continue practicing mindfulness every day, and your mindfulness will keep growing stronger and stronger. All right, looks like next we have our very own Laviru.
Mindful walking. I felt how the middle part of my feet touched the floor. I felt how my hands touched each other. I felt how my legs were uh, hurting, especially my hamstrings. I felt how my emotions were changing. I felt how I walked and turned. I felt how I lifted my leg. I felt how thoughts came and went. I'm for sitting. I felt that my hands touched the arms of my chair. I felt how my hands and legs touched each other. I felt that thoughts came and went. I felt the pressure on my back. I felt how the exhaled air touched the upper lips. Sometimes I didn't feel anything. After some time, I didn't feel anything. Suddenly the bell rang loudly, which startled me, and understood about sun.
Right. You know something about our mind is that from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep, it is always knowing things. So if we keep a journal of everything that we know from the time we wake up to the time we go to sleep, we'll never have enough books in the world to write our reports about that. So you see, this is simple mindfulness. You don't have to think that it is something so complicated. Just anything that comes to your mind. This is being mindful of it. So long as it is happening in the present moment. This is what we keep saying again and again. So long as it is happening in the present moment, you shine a light on it. And when you shine a light on it, you get to know it better. You learn about it. So next time something happens, you say, I already know about this. I have seen it many, many times before. I know how it goes. It just comes, then it goes. It comes and it goes. Anything that we experience during walking, sitting, our daily activities in school or at the temple or whatever. So that is great. Thank you for your report, Laviru. Can move on to the next one.
Tenuga Academy.
Answer sign answer. Mindful walking. First, I felt that the First I felt that the floor was cold and kind of sticky, and many dust particles present. Before mindful walking, when I was wearing my slippers, it felt soft. So when I added weight, I felt it compressing under my weight. But when I removed them and started it mindfully walking, I just felt my feet squishing on the floor under my weight. Before, I felt my slippers squishing, but after I removed them, I just felt my feet squishing. I felt that the power that I was applying to move me forwards wasn't all going in to move forwards. It was cut off by certain body areas and movements. It, it and it kind of gave me the thought of even my power getting taxed by certain areas and certain movements, which I do when I was walking. For instance, when my uh, and I saw that some parts were kind of absorbing excess energy, like when my foot touched the floor, it gives the body a quick shock like sensation. but I felt that that shock was getting weakened by my skin stretching, my skin squeezing, and my fleshy areas of my foot just absorbing the impact by just shaking around. This whole scenario didn't allow me to walk forwards, but it helped me pull my foot backwards right after. Mindful sitting. First, I felt that the seat was cold and hard. I the the right part of my nose was blocked, so I felt no air passing through that area. The left part of my nose wasn't blocked, and it felt like it could just do the job. I could just do the breathing job just fine, even though it was sucking and pushing twice the amount of air. But I saw myself trying to push away the phlegm in the right part of my nose just because it didn't feel right. Sometimes I saw myself getting quick breath restarts, bringing my breath to a stop by kind of flushing all the air out in my system and starting back again with a long and powerful inhale. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Tenuka. So many details we can know in a short time. Great details, subtle details, fine details, obscure details. This is just the nature of our mind again. So we can always rely on the mind in the present moment to know whatever is happening. And if we know what is happening, then we don't feel so disturbed, even with things that we have previously considered disturbing. Nothing is really uncomfortable. Whatever you feel, any temperatures, any textures, any sounds, any sights, nothing becomes uncomfortable to us. And like I always say, it's like we have a superpower. When we stay in the present moment, we are not afraid. We don't get angry or anxious. We are invincible. We are like Superman and Superwomen, right? So this is the small power of mindfulness. This is the power that mindfulness gives us. We have the ability to know so many things. We can't even record it in our report books at one time. So always just keep maintaining this mindfulness. That's great, Tenuka. And then I think lastly we have
Litumi, you can.
okay.
My attention was on my feet, and I felt a calming sensation in the body. I heard sounds of birds and vehicles, but I managed to keep my attention on my feet. Mindfulness sitting. My attention was on my breathing. I felt an unusual calmness in my mind. Even though I heard different noises, I kept my attention on my breathing. Thank you.
All right, thanks for sharing it to me. Another great example of simple mindfulness. All of us have showed this quality that mindfulness helps us to be in the present moment. So far, I think all of you have understood what mindfulness is. And if you have not been able to share your report this time, you can try next time when you join. Just tell us anything, any simple experience that you've had during your mindful walking and your mindful sitting. Like, for example, even now, you can hear the sound of my voice right now in the present moment. This is called being mindful. Right now in this room I am in, it is it's a bit warm. I don't know about you, but in this room it is a bit warm. And if you know that it is warm right now, you're being mindful. So this is what we are always trying to do Every day, whatever we are doing, whether sitting, standing, or walking, or lying down, we just try to be aware of what is there in the present moment, and we always seem to be very relaxed. We are not trying to create anything. Don't create an experience. And whatever you're experiencing, don't try to make it go away, because that is what is there in the present moment. This is mindfulness. I'm very happy to see that all of you are continuing with mindfulness, and keep it up to all of you. I think now we can move on to the next part of our session. As for the practice of mindful walking and sitting, that will be the end for today.
Dhammo Samanwansa. I think Kinti auntie is gonna do the activity.
Right, great.
Kinti auntie, I kindly invite you for today's activity.
Thank you, Laviru. Avsarai Swamin Wahansa. Thank you, Bante, for joining the session. Sorry I missed the first part, so hopefully I can connect the activity to the topic today. So, hello everyone. Now it's the time for today's activity. I hope all of you, it's a very simple one today. We just need a sheet of paper, okay? Any sheet of paper is all right. I just have something like this. Yes. And if you can switch on your videos, that would be great too. Yes, I can see. Tenuli has her sheet of paper and a scissor. That's basically what we want. So today we were talking about words that come out of our mouth. Is that right? Since I was not there, you will have to help me. Yes? Right. Okay. So what comes out of our mouth? Right? Okay. So for this, we are going to cut a shape. First, I will show you the shape, and after that, you repeat the process. Okay? So, while I'm cutting, I'm trying to think something. Okay? So, while I cut the shape, since you don't know what the shape is, just observe. Okay? So, while I'm cutting this, I'm thinking of something nice that somebody has told me, right? Okay, so with that thought, I'm cutting this shape. Something nice that I've heard from someone else. Something that made me happy. Where my day kind of brightened up a bit, where I felt alive, joyful, right? So when I hear something nice, joyful, which brings me alive and brighten my day, this is the shape that I cut. So what is the shape? What is this shape? It's a heart, yes? So my heart glows or blooms or is full like this, yes? Is your heart also like that when somebody says something nice to you? Yes? Okay, so now you can do that part, right? So you need to cut the shape of a heart, you know how I did? I just drew a sketch. For the small ones who can't directly cut, you can maybe draw a sketch. So fold your sheet of paper. If you are having a sheet of paper like this, just fold it into two, okay? And then you can simply draw a sketch like this. See this shape, okay? From the center, just draw like that, and when you cut it, you will get the shape of a heart. So the important part is, while you cut it, think of something nice that someone told you. Maybe a few nice things that you have heard over the days, or what you remember, right? Okay. Tehasna, you have a question?
I can't see your screen.
You
How to
can't
make
see
like
my...
the heart?
Can you see this now?
No.
No? Others, can you see me?
Oh yeah, I can see now.
Okay. Maybe among the others you are trying to find me, yes? Okay. Yes. So Tiana, I can see, yes. It's a smiling heart, right? So this is our heart when it's full and happy. Samanthi auntie showed. Yes. Swamin Wahanse also showed. Yes. Thank you, Bante. Yeah. So the others are cutting. Try to think of a time which made you come alive. Happy. Yes. Tehasna. Good job, Dua. Yes. Tenuli. Yes. Good job. Bihas, Hasini, yes. Are they your names? Am I? Yes? You are right. Great. Okay, I'm sure the others also would be doing it. If you wish, you can switch on your cameras, but otherwise, you can participate, right? Okay, so it's all ready, yes? Laviru, Tenuka, done? Right, right, great. So that's our heart. Senaya, we'll wait for Senaya. Senaya, yes. So that's okay, yes, nice, done. So later, if you like, you can maybe decorate it or do the things. But for now, so this is our beautiful heart, right? Now also, think of a time now when somebody told you something unkind, mean, rude, ugly, belittling. Okay? So you can do the same thing. Okay, I'll tell it and you can try to think of a time when somebody told you something rude. Yes, so we squash our heart a bit with every type of word, right? So something mean that was told to us, something rude. So give it a squash, we crinkle our heart, okay? Yes, and something unkind, something ugly, something nasty, and demeaning us. Yes, so okay, so now my heart is in a fist. Earlier it was blooming, alive, glowing, yes, full of life. Now it's squashed into a fist and I feel so small, right? I feel so small now. Okay, now this is our heart, right? We kind of sad and we don't feel ourselves, we don't feel full, right? Because we've heard something bad about somebody said. And do you think only someone else says those things to us, or do we think sometimes we tell such things to others? What do you think? Sometimes do such words slip out of our mouths too? Yes, it definitely happens, right? So that is why today's topic, what we said is, sometimes I am not sure of the words that come out of my mouth. So if I by any chance say something nasty, not nice, unkind, what do we do at such times? Who can tell? If I spill out something ugly to someone else or unkind, what do we do? Yes, Tehasna? You can unmute and speak.
Maybe we could just tell the teacher that somebody's telling mean things to us.
So it's like dua, we make another person sad by saying something mean to them. We try to be rude to someone by saying something rude. So when that happens, what do we do usually? Let's say to your friend, you tell something rude. Maybe you didn't think about it at once. Some hurtful words were told to your friend. What do you do then? Shall we ask from Senaya? Yes, Senaya. What do you think?
If I accidentally tell something mean to my friend and she'll get hurt, and then I'll just feel it and then I'll just tell, sorry, I'm very sorry. I'll just make a card and I'll just make her feel satisfied by telling that you're a very good friend. You can do it. It's okay. I'm very sorry.
Yes, yes. So that's something that we immediately try to do. Yes, we try to say that we are sorry, which we should be doing, right? If we don't feel sorry, that means we lack empathy, right? So if we have empathy, if we feel really sorry for what happened, we would say sorry. Anything else? Any other thoughts? If we make someone, feel hurtful, what do we do at such times? So we say sorry, right? Okay, so we try to say sorry and we try to take back what we said because I really didn't mean to do that, right? Maybe I was angry at that time, maybe I was in a hurry, maybe I was trying to get something done and I was really not in the mood I was not mindful enough to pay attention to the other person and something just slipped, which I shouldn't have said, right? So now I try to take back my words and now I try to say sorry and maybe give some space for that person to recover a bit. So let's see, right? So that person is now recovering. You can maybe, yes, try to take back those words and now with space and time, the recovery process happens. And yes, now they are back, they have recovered a bit from the situation. Now they are back doing their day-to-day tasks and we have tried to undo. But how does it feel? Does the heart look the same as it was before? What do you think? So the heart in your hand, who can tell? Yes, Tehasna, how does the heart look like now?
It's still a little crunchy, but it's still like a heart.
Yes, luckily it has come back to the shape of a heart. Yes, sometimes it can even, maybe if we really went on saying unkind things, and that's called bullying, right? If we repetitively keep doing those hurtful things to the same person over and over again, we might be even tearing this heart a bit, right? So now luckily, we just brought it back to that shape, like Tehasna said, so it's got the shape of a heart. Yes, Senaya, so what do you want to say? How does the heart look like now?
We still have the feeling that we did to the others, which makes them still feel bad. But when we take a little bit of words, they'll just feel a little bit okay because the past might have hurt them a little bit, but the heart, but the heart is still okay.
Okay, you drew the ribbon now, or was it there earlier? You drew it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she has tried to mend it a bit also. Am I seeing like stitches? No. In the corner? Yes, sometimes you can even draw like the stitches, right? So different ways to mend the heart, right? But we can all see, yes, so Senaya also said, we can still see these lines, crinkles in our heart, right? Who else wants to share anything? Who else wants to share anything? Um, Aruni auntie or Samanti auntie want to say something?
Good good evening to everyone. The heart after crushed, it doesn't look the same. It has a very rough surface, and if you close your eyes and touch the surface of the heart, you feel that roughness and the lines that you have broken every time you have said something to that person. But my okay, right, it has come back to the shape of a heart, and it looks functioning. But I have a question: how do we remove these rough lines, these rough edges, these damages? I don't think that we can remove them and bring the heart back to its original texture, but at least up to some extent. Like, how are we going to do that? This came to my mind while I was looking into it. We can beautify the heart, but that texture, that roughness, that disturbing uh, touch won't go away. So, how can we at least remove such roughness from that surface?
Okay, thank you very much, Aruni auntie, for leaving us with an insightful question. Yes, so this is why we say that our words matter. Yes, we can try to undo or take back our words. And we can even go to the extent of saying, so first we say, I'm sorry, and then we can try to sit with that person and maybe try to do our best to overcome, to work with them. We can try a lot of ways, yes? But we have to remember that once we have put it out, the words, we can never take it back. So that's why the words matter, right? Which also brings to another beautiful concept I was going to do with you all, right? So that is called It's a Japanese technique called kintsugi. So Aruni auntie kind of brought us to that part, thinking once it's done, we can never take it back to that original position, right? So some of you might have heard, some of you might be hearing it now. So in the Japanese tradition, there is a concept called kintsugi. That is usually, let's say if something breaks, a glass or a mug or a plate or something like that breaks, and they don't throw it away, right? So when something has broken, they try to put those pieces together and kind of stick it or glue it together with gold, right? So they try to build it and try to embrace that brokenness, that imperfection, that yes, I think Senaya was raising the hand. You want to say something?
Yep. I
Yes.
know that when they break something, I've seen that they take golden color glue and then they also just like try to fix it back, and then to show they have done something accident, but they also have put it back again. Yeah, that's how.
Yes. Tehasna, you also have something to add?
Same thing.
Same thing. Great. Yes. So that's what we are going to do now. Okay. So we accept, acknowledge that brokenness, and we try to embrace that. Yes. And that's the reason of preparing it with gold. It becomes a part of us, and we kind of embrace that. Okay. So that's what we are going to do. But before now, for that only, I ask you to bring a yellow color crayon. Right now, we are going to kind of, so this is our gold. If you have a gold crayon or a gold glitter pen or something, that would be great. So this we are going to do like the kintsugi method. Otherwise, a yellow crayon is also fine, right? And while we do that, I would like if Bante wants to add anything, maybe any thoughts to this, can share any thoughts as well, Bante. So while we do that, we are just drawing on the crinkles in gold, right? So the lines kind
Yeah,
of,
I
yes.
think you pointed out something that is very important, or a few things that are important, is that number one, it is not always other people who say unkind things to us. We also say unkind things to others. Because sometimes, like you said, when we are unmindful, we get carried away by ugly thoughts and ugly emotions. And so we just speak unkind things to others. But when this happens, we should just accept, not to worry too much about it, just accept, because we are continuing with mindfulness now. When we feel bad, we just accept that in this moment, I am feeling such and such a way. It's still being mindful. Whether there is anything bad or anything good, you just accept this is the reality of this moment. I am feeling this way or I am feeling that way. This is still being mindful. So I think this is a good way to explain this. You said words matter. Right. Now, unfortunately, I can't use I have a yellow pen, but I can't use it because I have a yellow paper.
Okay, thank you very much, Bante. So Bante has already done the kintsugi by using the same color, already gold. Okay, yes. So you can take your time, and I just added saying words matter so that we remember that part as well, right? And later you can maybe add some nice things. So as we color the crinkles with gold, try to have that feeling of, now it's one by one little action by, small actions which brings us back to our normal self. Maybe a smile from another person, so we were feeling very small earlier now, but it doesn't stay the same, yes? The sun shines another day and then we might feel a bit happy. So each small action might bring this heart back to its fullness, yes? And we are slowly embracing anything that still remains a bit hollow or a bit crinkled or a bit broken. That's where we are coloring it with our gold. Yes, we accept, we know that we are having this feeling in our heart, we acknowledge it, and we let it. Sometimes with time it heals a bit. Yes, so that's what this gold is. We repair what is broken with gold. And then it becomes a part of, it becomes something beautiful about us too. And when we repair it with gold, we don't see the cracks first. We see the beauty through those cracks. That's the idea of this kintsugi method, that we can use it for a long, long time again. Okay, so I'm letting you do it, have those feelings, and that's a very simple activity today. So we have time. Take your time while you do that coloring. Know that our words matter, and we have to be mindful if we are ever and about to say anything unkind to another person. Always remember this. Yes? Samanthi auntie, yes. Samanthi auntie has to say something.
Yes, Avasarai Bhante. If I add something, we know that we have to avoid 4 kinds of words: the lie, and harsh words, and gossiping, and slandering. So, in the same way, today Bhante was introducing some nice concept that about think before talking. Maybe you did not hear, and maybe some kids were not at the same time. So I will recall that. Think, THINK, what they are representing. Truth. Then H, helpful. I, inspiration or improving. N, necessary. And K sound for kindness. Then truth, helpful, improving, necessary, kind words to use to come out from our mouth. Always it will be really nice experience hereafter. Even I will think in that way. That's really good concept. Thank you very much, Bante. And thank you very much, Kinithi Auntie, for your nice demonstration.
Thank you very much for doing that recap. Yes, that's a very nice reminder. Think with the as the acronyms. Yes. Yes, Senaya?
I'm done.
Great. Yes. So you managed to draw on the crinkles. Yes? Okay. Yes.
No,
So she has
I,
beautified the
I
corner.
actually use glitter glue.
Ah, okay. Yes. So she has actual gold color, glitter. So it sparkles now. Yes? Nice. Tehasna? Yes, Dua, you have something to say? No, maybe from the previous time. Yes? Yes. The others? Any thoughts? Yes, Vihas and Hasini, you did your bit? Yes, I can see Tenuli's one. Yes. So I can see Hasini's one. It's nice. Bante's one also there. Yes. Thank you, Bante. Yes. And Litumi, very nice. And Aruni auntie's one also. Yes. So lots of lines to draw. Yes. Yes, Laviru. Now we, for those who have been in this program for quite a long time, we actually did this activity once, but today we added the variation of this repairing it with gold concept, right? So earlier what we said is also remember that 30 seconds or 1 minute rule. If you can't change within 30 seconds or within under 1 minute, if another person cannot change something about themselves, don't say that to them, right? So let's say if, what do we say? If your hair is not tied properly, or if something is on your hair, maybe with under 30 seconds, we can quickly remove it and we can try to fix it. Yes? Your shoelace is not tied, your something is wrong, but if it can be fixed in under 30 seconds or 1 minute, I would say, it might be all right to say something, but if they can't fix something about themselves under 1 minute, let's say you are too fat, you are too tall, you are too, this is so gross about you, okay? So if they can't change that about themselves, that you can remember as a reminder would be something that you shouldn't say, right? It would come out as something unkind because even if they tried, they wouldn't be able to change it immediately. So that's what we did last time. So this time with that reminder, we are talking about that same thing. Yes. What about the other kids? So, all right. So thank you to all of you for participating in that activity and for showing your creations. Yes, Sejita also I can see. Yes, lots of lines in gold and other colors are there. Our hearts are looking much better and glowing now. Yes, so it's a reminder that we can try to do things to make it feel happy again, right? And when other people are with us and when they are mindful and empathetic, they can help us restore our heart, right? And if it happens from us, remember that we should try every possible way to help the other person restore and actually make it beautiful again. Okay, right. Thank you. With that thought, Himandi, thank you, Dua. Yes, I can see. So we would really like you, please send us a photo of this to the number. You know the number, all of you, right? So send your homework, take a picture, and I think Niranja aunty might put it into the chat now. So please send the photos of what you did and we'll show for homework next week, right? Yes, somebody, some have asked, do we need to write the word words matter? Yes, you can write that in the center of the heart and any good things, right? Now remember I said at the beginning to remember something nice that someone told, so you can add those things, okay? All right. Okay, thank you everyone. And
Niranja aunty has shared the number in the chat box to send the homework.
yes, Niranja aunty wants to say something. So she is here after a long time. Don't know whether she has anything to quickly add and end the activity with that. Thank you.
No, Kirti, because I wasn't hearing half of the things what you were doing because I had a disaster here this
Yes.
day. So, but I I would like to say that what Bante said, that think. So it's a good one for. But I did the activity, but here and there I didn't hear what you were talking. But I wrote that in my heart here. Think.
Yes, thank you very much. That was actually, it's a nice reminder, think,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you very much, Kennedy, for the activity.
Okay, thank you to everyone and over to Laviru today. Thank you, Laviru. Avsarai Bante.
Thank you, Kirtan. Most Honorable Dhamma Osita Savanons, as we are at the end of the program, I would like to give a brief of today's session as usual. We started the session by talking about me, I don't think before I speak, and how it's related to mindfulness. Then we did mindful walking and sitting, read and discussed our reports with the group. I would like to thank Kiniti Auntie for doing today's heart activity with us, and finally I'm taking this opportunity to thank our most venerable Dhamma Osita respectfully on behalf of all the mindful friends who have joined for today's session and for giving us this valuable experience about mindfulness. Teron Sir. Have a mindful week, everyone.
Have a mindful week, everyone.
A mindful week.
Thank you, Bante. Have a mindful week, everyone. See you next week.